Do you guys remember this story here that I posted last week?
On Cuther Road in Sydney. Seconds later, he's told to leave. You can hear the homeowners say, but Rail decides to bang on the door, trying to force his way. Hereford does not agree with the neighbors or the police report. He says from what he saw, Rail never made it inside.
I don't see that. If he entered the house, why did he shoot through the door?
But with the new stand your ground laws here in the state, Ohioans do not have to back down if they feel threatened on their own property.
Well, I think he had every right.
Well, guys, it's time that we revisit a previous topic. Now, guys, I released this video last week, and I'm not here to change my mind or anything, but I'm here to make a simple, slight correction. You see, guys, I released that video to both channels, and of course, I got the footage from a website from an Ohio news outlet. Now, guys, they did not provide any full context on whether this guy actually got into the door or not. And of course, I thought that the next door neighbor's take was a little bit awful, which, by the way, it still pretty much is awful. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because it helps me segue into the fact of, let's just say, what are the most important things in life? Now, guys, there's 36 seconds of this clip right here. I'm going to roll for you, and then I'm going to come right back around and roll the full clip, which, by the way, will in fact get this video age restricted. So the actual shooting itself is going to be blocked out. You'll still hear it, but you won't actually see it because I've got to kind of censor it to a certain extent. Now, with that right there out of the way, let's go ahead and revisit this topic. Now, guys, the full actual clip itself just now dropped earlier this afternoon. I was taking care of some family issues, and of course, I got back to my home a little bit this afternoon. I also made a video and released the, let's just say it was the Bill Maher Rob Reiner exchange. I went ahead and released that, and the vaccine video that I planned on releasing will be released on both channels tonight. Now, guys, the reason why I want to talk about this, and of course, I only showed you just the 36 seconds. Don't worry, we'll see the other clip, and of course, it's going to be, portions are going to be blacked out because YouTube will not tolerate any actual violence on this channel or any actions in which you see somebody actually getting shot, stabbed, or getting beat up. Of course, I have been burned on this before, and have even had some videos taken down. But my mind has not changed. You see, the guy was trying to bang through the door, and he was trying to get to the girl herself. Obviously, people like that right there do not have good intentions. And I do stand by my statements by saying, yes, I would have done what the father did. Yes, I would have put the guy down. Yes, I would have been forced to put the animal down. With that right there being said, let's go ahead and roll the full context, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and say this. If you look at the guy's face, I kind of get the impression he may have been high. Now, I'm not saying that he was. I'm not saying that he wasn't. But he definitely looked like he was on something. It seemed like he was stoic. Maybe he was a little bit confused. But in reality, he probably should not have been doing this to begin with. You see, when a girl breaks up with you, it is over. Okay? It's over. Leave her alone. Yes, I know that there are times when a girl breaks up with a guy and a guy sits back for 2 to 3 weeks and then the girl shows back up. There's also times when a man and a woman will get back together. However, when you're in your early 20s, it'd be best if your girlfriend break up with you. And I say this to all the young men out there, to actually leave her alone. The reason why I'm talking about this issue is because, like I said before, I still stand very, very much by what the father did. And even though the law was a stand your ground law, I 100% agree. If this guy right here is banging on the door, if he's trying to get inside my home to get to my daughter, by the way, in the original news clipping, which, by the way, I will be leaving in the comment section of this video, yes, the father actually warned him, said, I've got a gun, you need to leave. He actually said this. You probably didn't catch it in the actual, let's call it the unredacted version of that clip. But yes, I still agree with the law, and I agree with what the father did. Yes, I would have put this guy down. He was coming to hurt my daughter. He was coming to hurt her. He had very, very vicious intentions. Now, maybe his intention was not to actually hurt her, but obviously he's trying to break through the door. He's trying to get to her. So I've got to protect her at all costs. Which, by the way, guys, is something that Karen, the next door neighbor, did not actually pick up on. Why didn't you just shoot him through the door? Okay, well, obviously, as you guys saw, he did do it. He did get him through the door. But at the same time, though, like I said, don't you hold your children near and dear to your heart? Would you or would you not protect your kids? Would you or would not you do what this father did? You see, I think that individual next door, and I stand by this, had a gripe with that individual. He had a gripe with the father of that girl. He had a gripe with the actual shooter. He had a gripe with him. There's a reason why he said what he said. Now, guys, I wanted to make this video because there are some in the comment section who said that I want to see the full version. I want to see the thing that's not on the news. Well, the thing is this right here. When I actually searched this clip, which, by the way, I got wind of it, came in my YouTube feed, I tried to find other versions of it. And, of course, I had to go through the actual website. And what you got in the original video is, for the most part, what you got in this video here. I know it seems like a bit of a retread and a bit of a re-upload, but guys, I think it needed to be done. You see, on this channel right here, I've made a couple of mistakes. Of course, I've made a mistake on John Claymore, and by the way, this video will also be getting released on that channel as well, which, by the way, this will be coming out in probably the next hour or so. Once I actually edit everything and save in the iMovie, it'll be out. I don't like leaving things out there that, quite frankly, are untrue, even if it's a very, very slight, and I mean slight, sliver off. And, of course, as I said before in the previous video, hey, this right here was the best clip that we had, the best imagery, which, by the way, I'll leave that video in the comment section of this one right here. This right goes back to that Uvalde video I made, the initial reaction to the Uvalde shooting. You see, at that time, there were a lot of people out there saying that the shooter was transgender. The Daily Mail put up some pictures. Everybody put up some articles. And, of course, the following day, they had to redact things. And I said that new details will probably occur, so you may get a retraction on that video. And, of course, the following day, I kind of made a bit of a retraction. Of course, the Uvalde video is up there. You see, I even leave the videos where I made mistakes up for two reasons. Number one, it's designed to be there for critique. I'm the type of person who actually looks at criticism, takes things into account, decides whether it should be done or should be not. But in some cases, guys actually, men and women both, make actual good suggestions. But the thing is this right here. In this case right here, I think a retraction was needed because, quite frankly, the guy did, in fact, not get through the actual door. So in that case right there, I need to come on here and make a bit of an apology and say, look, I kind of got that little detail wrong. However, that does not change my mind on what the father did. If that right there was my daughter and that right there was trying to break through my house door and trying to get to my daughter or trying to get to my child, I do not blame the father. I do not blame the father one bit. I would have put that guy down too. And yes, I stand by my phrase saying that animal, I would have put him down. Which leads me to my final point. The boy looked a little bit stoic. He was obviously dressed up like he just got back from the gym, or maybe it's possible that he woke up wearing these clothes. Maybe that there's exactly what happened. Maybe he didn't go to the gym. Maybe it was his intention to, hey, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go harass my ex-girlfriend. I'm going to try to get her back. I'm going to try to show her how big of a man I am. That's not how you do things. If your ex-girlfriend breaks up with you and you try to go get her back, maybe what you should do is maybe dress a little bit more professionally. Only wear some khakis, maybe a suit, bring some flowers, some candy, things of that nature there. Maybe you should do that right there. Of course, she's probably going to reject it outright because once a woman's made up her mind, she's made up her mind, at least for the time being. Also, something else, too, you never know. This guy right here could prey on somebody else's daughter. Now, like I said, we don't know the actual details of the relationship. I'm just simply saying this type of stuff right here does happen. And the father chose to protect his daughter, which, by the way, I don't blame him for doing. And quite frankly, I would have done the exact same thing. So I want you guys to know that this video right here is in no way, shape, or form a retraction. I'm just simply retracting the point that I made in the previous video that the guy busted through the door. It's pretty obvious by the film footage that he probably didn't get through it. And of course, I'm also here to say that I don't blame the father not one bit. And if you guys are upset with me for feeling the way I feel, well, guess what? Go fuck yourself. I really and truly don't care. I would have done the same thing. I would have protected my child against that animal too. Guys, Gearshy33, John Claymore. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. I'll see you guys later. I'm not like everybody else.